my phone died again. And that's why I got on my jacket, because I was getting ready to leave. And then I was like, you know what? No, girl, you're just going to keep on going. This happened last time. Nothing's going to stop you. I'm going to get out the message about myself. And this is episode 2 of me just talking about the story of a blooming lotus, which is me and my spiritual journey, my spiritual awakening. And today, what I was supposed to be talking about and what I am going to continue to talk about is manifesting through the evolution of the spirit, and really the alignment of the three bodies, with all of the conditioning and, just the trauma that we've been through and the way that we've been taught how to live and view life. It really does disconnect us from not just the womb, but our true path and who we really are. And so manifesting from my dad's spare room into a place of my own, when I was saying every day that I was grateful for my land off grid, grateful for being able to see my healing space from the lawn, grateful for the food forest, a divine masculine, and also grateful for, I want to say, I lit a candle and I said that I was grateful for my little green apartment, and it's green and it's little. So it took me a journey and then I was also saying that I was grateful for my salon apothecaries. So clearly I was manifesting a lot of things, and it took me about a year to get to that place. And through that, the first thing that I manifested was a salon apothecary. I said I was grateful for it about 5 months. And then I got the call and was asked to work at a salon apothecary where 2 women had merged their salon and apothecary together, which is what I wanted to do because I was doing hair and I had become a Reiki master, and I wanted to merge the 2 businesses together and have like a healing hair business. So, 5 months later, landed that. They asked me how long I was going to be there for. I didn't know. I'm just letting spirit move me, because I'm understanding that I'm asking for something that I've never had before. So with that, or something that I've never seen before either. So if I knew how to get it, I probably would have got it already, right? So I ended up being there for about 1.5 years. And during that time, I was dating a guy. I had moved out of my dad's house, and I ended up moving in with him. And we started arguing. That was crazy, but not really, because it all kind of goes in with how the manifestation works, right? Everything outside of us is just a reflection of us. So I'm having to see myself through these different situations, people, places, and things in order for me to get through the journey, the level, to get to this higher frequency so I can get what I'm asking for. So, during the time that we're in that relationship, I opened up my office, and I probably had it for like 2 months, maybe 3 months. And we're arguing, and I'm looking for a new place. And then one day he was like, you just need to get out. And so I ended up moving all my stuff out that day. And I'm now sleeping on my dad's couch. And during the time that I was looking for an apartment when I was living with him, there was a place that had like 15 listings. And they're like, oh, we're still waiting on a reference from 7 years ago, which is so weird. And this is like a slumlord place. I'm like, I'm just looking for whatever I can get, right? So all the while I'm still manifesting, and saying that I'm grateful for all these things ahead of time every day, or as often as I remember. And I'm in belief that it's happening too, because when I'm manifesting it, when I'm in meditation and I'm saying that I'm grateful for it, I am like doing my best to hold that feeling. And then I've also put these things under a candle too. So it's like, once you start doing the magic, it's like you got to start doing the healing. It kind of goes hand in hand. So saying that all to say, I'm staying with my dad as soon as I break up with old dude. And as soon as I move in with my dad, then there's these openings at another property management place. And when I call about it, the apartment, the lady is like, Alicia, this one is for you. And I'm like, wow, she's just kind of like pushing it on my lap. She kept on saying it was for me. And I was like, even if the other one, like, I just need something, you know? And so I'm just grateful. So I come and I'm going through the gate because you can't see the place from the street. And when I walk in, I see there's other people that were looking at it too. And I got kind of sad. But then I also realized too, this is literally exactly everything that I had been asking for. I could stand on the lawn and see my office, which was my healing space. You couldn't see it from the street. I asked for it to be off grid. I said I was grateful for my food forest. I kept saying fruit forest on accident. So there's 5 fruit trees, a berry bush, and a grapevine. And I got my veggie garden over here on the side. And I lit a candle one day and I said I was grateful for my little green apartment. And it's little and green. So in hindsight, I look at everything that I had to go through. You know, I had to quit 2 jobs. I got a reading and somebody was doing magic on me. So I had to go through, you know, the headaches of the magic. And I did the return to sender and that hit. Ooh wee. The thing is, manifesting through the evolution of the spirit, and just to let you know, I'll never do magic on anybody, but I show I'm going to send that energy back. So that's also too wide-sided. Let me just go ahead and start wrapping up my head when I get on these videos because I'm gonna send it back. Trust and believe that. And it's gonna hit because my ancestors don't play. And that's another part of manifesting through the evolution of your spirit, because then you're aligning to gifts. You know, I had to dust myself off to see how powerful this crystalline body goddess was. And this is over many lifetimes, and also incarnating into a royal lineage. But when you're looking at it in the 3D, it may not be perceived that way. And that's the whole thing about manifesting through the evolution of your spirit, and also understanding the difference between the body and the soul, because our reality is 80% energetic, is 20% physical. So when we look around, most of it looks like it's physical, but everything is really condensed, tightly condensed energy. And so I was thinking about it the other day. This condensed energy isn't just the energy of the material, right? This is the energy of the hands that were put in there to make it. So the actual man work. It's also going to be the energy of the space that it's been residing in, because it's holding that energy. Who knows? People put magic on stuff. There's just so many different energies that is held in one unit. And the alchemy too, that's energetic. And so considering all that as the 80%, but then also applying it to us as humans, it's like we're mostly emotional. Emotions are energy in motion. So if we are 80% energy and 20% physical, hollow kind of, you know, but not really, more so fully embodied by a soul. And so saying this all to say, through the evolution of the spirit is really doing that emotional work. It's looking into your trauma, seeing what cycles you're still residing in, how they're affecting you in your life right now, doing the inner work to transmute and alchemize and rewrite the story, right? Because these cycles, this old trauma is just an old story that's still being told every day. it's like the energetic body, it stores these different experiences, and then it starts to echo into the body. And when it echoes into the body, it ends up it ends up manifesting in the physical, right? Because the physical is going to be the last place that it shows up. So, for instance, let's just say you worry all the time. So, worry could be coming from you've experienced something in the past. That experience is found a place in your emotional body. And because it didn't feel good and you really remember it, it's kind of stuck there. And not just stuck, but it's echoing day to day. You're telling yourself that story over and over. You might be telling your friends or whatever. And so it's making it really hit. Now you worried. You didn't talk yourself into worry, right? Because worry is something that we put on ourselves. It's not fear. And now for women, your cycle is thrown off. You bleeding too much, or your digestion is off. And this could be because of your spleen. What lives in the spleen? Worry. So that's just a reflection of how something can happen outside of you. Now it's reflected in your body. And for women, the period is the 5th vital sign. I'm just bringing that up because I'm a womb healer. So with it be showing up in the period and your body being the subconscious mind, your wiring, your subconscious mind, your wiring is saying, hey, to the body, I need you to deliver this message. This is, and it's so sad because there are so many people that are not fully tuned into their emotional body because they're living in logic. My belly is rumbling because I'm hungry. They're living in logic, and it's because we're forced to keep on going in this capitalistic world. And it's really a battle and not really a battle, because the whole thing about just submitting to what is and learning how we create our reality is, so if it's hard outside of us, it's because there's some internal wiring that is making it hard for us on the outside. And so going in there and doing the inner work and seeing what's presenting itself to be transmuted, to be healed, knowing what you're manifesting, it's like, yes, this is the energy in motion that's getting me to the place that I'm asking to be. So that is the reason I believe that all the things that happened to me from the time that I started manifesting or saying that I was grateful for everything that I mentioned earlier, up into me seeing it materialize on an earthly plane. I believe that it's all based on the inner work. And so you can do magic, right? Because that's another thing that I wanted to talk about, that the root work, the magic go hand in hand with the healing. Because when you put something on the altar, I just want you to know, you just putting yourself on the altar. When you put somebody else on the altar, just know that person is you. And really, it's just shifting the energy so that you can walk into the physical change. Because remember, it's not all energetic. There's 20% physical work too that has to go into things, because as we're creating, it's 80% energy that you're using to create, and it's 20% physical work that you're putting into it. Remember that. And that keeps a healthy balance. It's the equilibrium of how things are being created, right? Not saying that you can't work extra hard and make some things happen, but it's like, that's on the earthly plane. When you learn how to master how to create it from the inside, ooh-wee, now that is powerful. But The root work and the magic go hand in hand. And so this is also to kind of demystify hoodoo and, other practices that do involve, I would call it transcendental healing, right? When you put something on the altar, originally, I believe, it was to heal, right? It's sympathetic magic. And sympathetic magic is being able to reach somebody from afar. That could be as simple as you praying for somebody. I believe that, of course, you can use it for bad, but as somebody who would be labeled as a white witch, I personally do it for greatness. And I feel like if you're going to be doing any kind of magic, you should definitely be doing it to heal yourself. Because first of all, return to sender. And second of all, we only get this lifetime in this body, honey. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. And remember, it's all about the journey, right? You can set the intention and have your vision and know that you're going to shoot for the moon and land on a star. You might land on the moon. You might land on a star. The star might be better than the moon. Either way, it's the vision, right, that's driving it. You done planted the seed. So what's most important is knowing that the 12 universal laws still always apply, okay? So I wanted to read those off to you. The first one is the law of divine oneness. The second is the law of vibration. Your frequency determines your experience. The law of divine oneness is about everything outside of you is just you. Nothing is separate. So even though there's an illusion of a separate experience, this is all a one experience. It's like God is a disco ball and we get to see God outside of or inside and outside of ourselves. Quality control, right? And I was looking up what the original war was all about, and they say that the original war was a reflection of the War of the Gods. And so it made me think about like polytheism or polytheistic religions, and how many gods are kind of conflicting. And so when people say, well, God is not evil, well, I mean, if we believe that God created everything, then I'm not saying God is evil, but it sounds like God created what we perceive as evil. I'm just saying. Law of correspondence. Your inner world mirrors your outer world. Chaos reflects misalignment. So when you're asking for something, when you're going from one frequency to the next, when you're going from one reality, one timeline to the next, that friction, that's just because you're out of alignment. But if you ask to be out of alignment so you can go to the next place, it's expected, so all those woe is me's, use that as raw material to alchemize. It's a special time when you're in between one timeline and the next. Yeah, it's hard. It's super, super hard. I'm going through that right now. It's just not easy. Let's just say that. But we're made for it. And, be careful what you ask for because you're going to be put on the journey to receive it. Your spirit guides, your team, they're like, hey, you asked, we're going to help you get it. So, and we're going to do it on the frequency that you believe that you're worthy of. So, I didn't necessarily get land off grid. I didn't get my tiny homes that I want to see from my beautiful house that I built. But God showed me that I'm manifesting on this frequency that I was on. I'm hopping to another frequency. I just want y'all to know that. It's going to be great. I'm excited. So the law number 4, the law of attraction. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you embody. So you attract the good, the bad, and the ugly all within. No one's perfect. So don't let the illusion fool you. Number 5, the law of inspired action. Alignment requires movement. Spirit opens the doors, but you must walk through. And it just makes me think about the 80% and the 20%. 80% is spirit. You have to go through the inner work. You allow the co-creation of the things that we can't see, your ancestors, your guides, spirit, the Most High, the universe, all the things. And then you got to walk through the door. You have to know that you're worthy of it. You have to know. Ooh, you have to know that you're worthy of it. Law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Pain, trauma, stagnation are all raw material for alchemy. And it's true. I told you that before. 7, law of cause and effect. Karma. What you put out there is what you get back. Who knows how long it's going to take? We don't know. But it's going to come get you. Number 8, the law of compensation. This is what I really, really love. You are compensated through service, integrity, and alignment. Abundance flows when work serves life and not your ego. And so there's this like purity within our spirit that we believe this is what we're supposed to do, right? And when we allow ourselves to get to that place, it's like, ooh, we're here. I'm going to live in it. This is what I wanted. And then eventually, if you are like any other human, you're going to want to evolve. And if you're not wanting to evolve, just know that that's temporary and you're needing to use that as raw material to alchemize your life. But it feels good until it doesn't feel good because you're asking for something else, you're desiring something else, and you're believing and perceiving something else and something different. So with all of that, there becomes this friction and there is this misalignment. But when you are being pushed to that place, just know that that feeling that you're feeling, that discomfort, it's all because you're getting to where you asked to be. And that's where the abundance flows, where you truly know that you're supposed to be. And part of our journey, I believe, is, evolving in these rooms and then moving on to the next room, if you allow yourself to even see that. So for me, I started doing hair based on my childhood trauma, and now I know what I've been doing over many lifetimes. And I was making a lot of money doing hair, and it started going down because I needed to put time and energy into Blooming Lotus, which I've been manifesting as my primary source of income. So I'm watching all of this happen, and it's such a powerful process, and I am feeling all the emotions in all of my bodies. It's so freaking crazy. But I'm here for it, and I'm really excited. And like I said, we only get this one body, this one lifetime. So law of relativity is number 9. Nothing is good or bad until we compare it. So this is a conversation that, can go on and on and on. But at the end of the day, we need to know that contrast is the teacher. Initiation looks like loss before liberation. So sometimes we're going to feel that turbulence. We're going to encounter the loss. We're going to feel that friction so that we can use the energy, counterbalance it to teeter us over to where we're aligning with. Our vibration is constantly changing. And that's another thing that I was going to say is like manifestation is something that we've been doing subconsciously. But when you become conscious of it, now that is a game changer. Now you got, your hands on the actual reins of the horse. You're not just galloping around without your hands on it. You know what I mean? Number 10, law of polarity. Shadow and light are not enemies. They are partners in integration. And so I'm big on shadow alchemy and just really just not living in the shadow, but not being afraid to expose my shadow. Not being afraid to run into it and illuminate the things that I need to in order for me to be a better version of myself. Yeah, there's just nothing better than being on the journey and becoming a better version of ourselves. Sometimes we get stuck looking in the mirror for a while, but at the end of the day, we're still moving on up. Number 11 is law of rhythm. Life moves in cycles, seasons, and tides. Honor rest as much as growth, and resistance to cycles brings suffering. So I would say there's so many things to say about this. So I would say be aware of your own cycles. Also be aware of the cycles of the moon. The moon pulls the tides. Tides are water. The moon is watery energy. We are mostly water. So water also is representing emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. So tying it all together. But what is at the top is always going to go to the bottom. And what's at the bottom is always going to make its way back up to the top. So honoring the law of rhythm, honoring your cycles, honoring the rhythm of the earth, honoring the rhythm of the planet, honoring the planets, honoring the rhythm of your relationships with people and, the things that you go through and the grief that you experience and how that shows back up in cycles. It's crazy because on Facebook, it'll show you like your past experiences that you posted on Facebook. And there's been days where I've taken the same hike by myself on the same day. It's just a cycle. We're just cyclical beings. Time is not linear. Law number 12, the law of gender. And this has nothing to do with what you're preferring you want to be. I don't care about that. I'm honoring whatever you want to do this lifetime, but masculine and feminine exist in all things. Creation happens when action, which is masculine, meets receptivity, which is the feminine. And so I named off all the laws because these are things that we can't get away from. So when we're manifesting and considering the evolution of our spirit, also consider the 12 universal laws. That'll help you not make excuses for yourself. That'll help you have clarity and understanding as to why certain things are happening or not happening, Yeah, I hope my stomach is calling out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you got something from it. This is episode 2 of the story of a blooming lotus. And yeah, it's just raw and uncut, clearly. It's about being consistent, and I am really, really grateful that this was like the last thing that I needed to do on my list of things within my ecosystem for Blooming Lotus. And yeah, Blooming Lotus also is another thing that I have been manifesting, and I'm really grateful. Blooming Lotus she's a beast. I do so many things, and I haven't talked about that, and I didn't want to just be on here selling, but I'm Alicia, and I am the creator of Blooming Lotus, and Blooming Lotus is a holistic ecosystem of, let's just say, an ecosystem of modalities that are for the greatest and highest good of your holistic and spiritual well-being. Yay! It's just so hard to say, but I wear so many hats. So I'm not just a hairstylist, I am a Reiki master teacher. I am a hydrotherapist, so I do yoni steaming. I am a high priestess and a womb healer. I have waken up to who I've been over many lifetimes. And so, yeah, this lifetime here in America, you need a certificate. And honestly, those certificates really have nothing on the experience over many lifetimes. So I'm just here remembering and being of service. So I also practice herbalism through the lens of traditional Chinese medicine. That goes hand in hand with the yoni steaming, and I do sound baths, I sing, I channel ancient frequencies, I do poetry, I write songs, I'm a TT, and yeah, many things. But if you would like to drop into my world and check some things out, visit me at bloominglotusenergy.com. And yeah, until episode 3, I don't have a specific schedule that I'm going to go off of, but I do want to get all of this information out before I just start raw dogging it and, you know, doing channeled messages and things like that. Yeah, I feel like you guys just need to be able to peek in and see who I am and get the raw version of me. My eyes are hurting. Yeah, you see I had a little sleep in my eye earlier. I think I poked my eye and I might have pink eye. I don't know, but it's hurting. But they're not red. I was going to put some tea bags on it, and yeah, journey of a healer. So anyway, I'll let you know what happens. Maybe in episode 3. I might just erase this because that's a lot going on. Bye.